Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Who have we got? Hi, Lainey. Thanks for the wave. Hi, Tara. Horace the Hound. That's a good one. How are we all this morning? Are you ready to do a bit of baking with me? I know I've got to say it because I'm going to forget one week, but can we put our ovens on? I'm going to have to keep repeating this as everybody comes in. But if you're cooking with me live this morning, and I hope some of you are, you're up for the challenge, can we put our ovens on? It's 375 if you're Fahrenheit, 190 if you're Celsius, or gas mark 5, okay? Welcome, Dinky. Hi to everyone who's coming in. Lovely to see so many of you. For those of you that did the Thai curry last week, I hope you enjoyed it. Mine went straight away, so thank you so much for all of you that came in and all the lovely comments you sent me afterwards. I really appreciate all that. Okay, so we're doing banana and blueberry muffins this morning. I wanted to do something sweet, a bit of a treat, but also without the baddies that we get in both the shop-bought muffins and the standard muffin recipe. I have baked these probably the last 15 years. I've never changed my recipe. I don't see any point. I've got lots of options and alternatives, as I usually do. And as you know, I'm not going to use very much equipment either. I'm going to keep it really, really simple. I want you to see just how easy it is to produce something that not only you guys will love, but children, anybody like that. It's really, really simple. Okay, I think we're getting people coming in now, but I think we should make a start. And the first thing I want to do is to show you how I weigh all my dry ingredients in one foul swoop. So, on my scales, I'm putting, for my dry ingredients, standard size mixing bowl, and then on top of it, before I switch the scales on, I'm going to put on my sieve. Okay? And then we're going to start with the self-raising flour. Now, I've said as an option on the self-raising flour, you can use the wholemeal self-raising if this is a post-recovery or if it's a breakfast muffin. If it's for the pre-event, obviously, we're trying to keep your carbohydrates refined. So for that reason, I would use a white, which is what I'm going to go with today. And it's 120 grams of that going straight into the sieve, like so. Okay, and then in addition, I've got an option on here for the cocoa or the ground almonds. I've made the cocoa ones this morning, so I'm going to show you them at the end. So I'm going to use the ground almond. If you have a nut allergy or you're conscious that you're taking these to school or something, then obviously either go with the cocoa version or you can just add another 60 grams of self-raising flour. Totally up to you. So let's pop that 60 grams in. And then we have a teaspoon of these two little beauties that are going to help your muffins rise to the occasion. So 1 teaspoon of each, that's the little one, remember? Pop them in. And then we're just going to sift that through. So quick sift through. And what we're doing there is we're just adding, you can lift it up as high as you like. We're just adding in the air. Now that air is going to make our muffins rise, and that's what we need, and that's why we're also sieving it. So please take the time just to give a little bit of lift. You'll find some of the ground almonds won't go through, just tip them in at the end. Okay, so that's that done. To that, we're going to add the flaxseed. Now again, guys, this is optional. It's optional because as a pre-event snack, if you're having this within 20 minutes to an hour before you run, it's high in fibre. So if you suffer GI issues, so, you know, obviously, stomach distension, etc., and high fibre foods affect you, please leave this out as a pre-event run. The reason I'm adding it is a superfood, and I love superfoods. Flaxseed is very high in omega-3. Omega-3 is a fantastic healthy fat. In addition, it has got around 30 to 35% of your potassium, magnesium, and vitamin B1, and they are so important to us. We know about potassium from bananas, but it's as high in this. We know magnesium, we talked about it last week in terms of recovery from muscle cramps, etc. And vitamin B1, fantastic in breaking down our energy in our bodies from the carbohydrates. So let's throw that in. That's your dry ingredients, all done, ready to go. Now let's have some fun with my machine. You don't need to use something like this if you're not baking as often as me. So we're just going to, first of all, break our eggs. 2 eggs. break them into a bigger, let me just show you my mixing bowl. Mixing bowl, a bit bigger than the other one. Couple of eggs straight into there. And we're just going to give them a quick whisk together. As I'm talking through, I'm going to use my machine. But quite honestly, you could do this with just a fork if that's all you've got. Or if you've got one of those handheld whiskers, these kind of things, they're quite good for this as well. You've got them, fantastic. Okay, whilst that's spinning away for me, let's look at the other ingredients we're going to add. I mentioned, guys, on my recipe card, grapeseed oil. And then I realised when I went shopping yesterday how difficult it is to find grapeseed oil. So can I just give some alternatives now? You can use anything like a sunflower oil, a safflower oil, a soy oil. The reason we use oil in this recipe and most muffin recipes is obviously to keep that lovely lightness. But secondly, oil is actually much healthier to cook with than some of the bad trans fats and the shortenings and the butter and less stable fats that are going to turn to trans when you have them at a high temperature. So this is a high smoke. I'm using the rapeseed oil today. That was about £3.50, which I know is expensive, but we're only using 90 mils. We're not frying chips in it. So if you can, try and get one that you can use at a high fry smoke, and it'll say it on the side, high fry or suitable for baking and stir frying. And then, you know, we're going to keep everything good. Okay, let me turn that off and let me add in the extra ingredients. I hope those of you that are cooking with me today are keeping up. I don't think I'm going too fast, but I can always slow down a little bit. Let me have a look at some of these measures. I've got thumbs up so far, so that's good. Hi, Dr. Andre. Thank you for mentioning me last night. I watched the show, it was ace. Okay, so we're going to add into this now, the plain yogurt. This is something I cook with all the time. Lots of people think you can't cook with yogurt, it'll split, it'll do something horrible. It's brilliant. It's got our protein in, it's going to add to that moisture. As we know, it's a healthy product. So let's put in 60 mils of this. Straight in with the eggs. That's perfect. Then we're going to go with our grapeseed oil and our honey. So it's 90 mils of your oil, whichever oil you're choosing to use, straight in. And then the honey. And if you remember from Flapjack Week, I referenced all the different honeys you can get, the raw honeys and da-di-das. When we're cooking, to be completely honest, as long as you get a honey that hasn't had sugar added to it, I'm happy with that. So I've literally gone for a bog standard 1 pound squeezy honey, and I'm just going to go with 60. I'm just going to check this one. 60 mils of honey, straight in. Get the squeezy ones; it makes it a lot easier to pour in. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to whisk all that together. Again, if you're working just with a fork, super, super easy. Or put it into your mixer just for a few minutes while we move on to my favourites, the banana. I've said 3 medium bananas. Now, I know that's always a little bit vague. What is a medium banana? The children's bananas are tiny-inies. You probably need 4 or 5 of them. Medium, I don't know, that's my hand. That's the banana. 3 of these, okay? Most important thing is, please try and get the overripe ones. So don't get the bright yellow ones. Try and get the ones that have been in your fruit bowl for a week. You know what, sometimes I even take bananas that I know aren't going to get eaten, put them in the fridge, and then use them a week or 2 later. Doesn't really matter in this. We want to be able to mash them up really, really easy, which I'm going to show you now. Turn that off so you can all hear me properly. Okay, so really simple, really easy to mash through. That's because they're nice and ripe. Don't worry about getting them to some sort of like liquid state. We don't need that, we just need to get them to combine a little bit, and then we're going to add them in to the wet ingredient. Now we're literally not far from there now, and you can see that I'm obviously also having to talk everybody through this. So in real time, you could have these in the oven in 10 minutes if I'm honest. Okay, perfect. Perfect job if you've got small children or, you know, husbands, boyfriends you need to give a job to. Mash that banana. Done. Right, let's add that in. We don't need Mr. Whisk anymore. We're going to whack the bananas in to our liquid ingredients. Give them just a little stir in, okay? So just incorporating them, and then we are going to simply add our dry ingredients and fold it in. Now remember before we said we'd sieved everything in to keep the air. We don't want to knock it out now, so I'm just going to pour that in and then fold it. And when we fold, we're literally folding in the dry flour and dry ingredients into that, and it will come together. It is going to be like a batter, okay? That's what we want. Doesn't take much, and you just literally want to get it so it's incorporated. Don't go hell for leather beating it till you've beaten all the air out. I'm happy with that, so I'm done. Now, 2 other ingredients we need to add: our chopped walnuts and our frozen blueberries. I'm going to show you in a moment the ones I made earlier on, and I've used different berries, but at this point, if you don't like walnuts, and I've said it every week, pick something else that you do like. There's loads of different options. You can choose any nut you like, so pistachio, it doesn't matter, whatever nut you like. Alternatively, chop some dates up really, really small, so similar size to a small, like a raisin size. Throw them in, throw some raisins in, whatever your preference. Equally, I'm conscious for those of you that don't really like fruit or berries to give an option. So how about the same amount, so around 150 grams of grated carrot. With the grated carrot, you get exactly the same benefit. Pop that in, and then personally for me, if I was using carrot, I'd want to add a little bit more flavour. So maybe a teaspoon of cinnamon, of ginger, of mixed spice, something like that. You can create any flavour you want. This is your base, so keep the banana in, but then you can add whatever fruit you like. I'm using frozen only because they're cheaper, and I really don't see any benefit in using the fresh ones when we're baking them. But clearly, if you've got fresh ones that are going to go out of date, you can clearly use any fresh fruit you want. Okay, let's just throw them in, stir those walnuts straight through, and then I add these at the end rather than halfway through because they will bleed colour into your muffins. So if we added them too soon, we'd end up with a blue, which might be your preference, but we'd end up with a blue muffin. So let's just drop them in. How pretty is that? I'm a very visual person. I need everything to look pretty at some point. So that is now done. Okay, so the last thing we need to do, spoon it into our 12 cases. To be honest, I'm not that fussed if some are bigger than others. I'm a bit like that, but clearly that's down to your perfection. I'm just going to quickly spoon them in now, and when I talk you through, I'm going to just mention again, as I spoon this in, the benefits of this. First thing we've done with this is we've removed most of the baddies. So where I've improved on a standard muffin recipe, I've removed the sugar and I've replaced it with the honey and the fruit. So I've increased the fruit volume. I've removed the chocolate chips that most muffins have in them, or the dried cranberries, whatever very sweet product that muffins have in them, and I've replaced that with the nuts and the fruit. And I've also made sure we have a very high level of potassium and magnesium and protein in this, so it's a good post-recovery as well. So I'm just considering for you runners, the cramps, the muscle recovery, the high burst of energy, those are the sort of things we're looking to do when we look at how to replicate recipes and make them better for the runners. So, 375, hopefully your ovens, for those of you that are cooking with me, are up to temperature. That's 190 gas mark 5. I've done some earlier on this morning, so there's going to be plenty of muffins given out on my street today. They took, in my oven, if I'm honest, I gave them 18 minutes. Now I put on the recipe card 15. Check them after 15, but what I would say is, because they've got all this fruit in them, they might take a tiny bit longer. So I would get a wooden skewer, something like that. I'll show you when I put them in my other one now. and I just give them a push into the middle and make sure it comes out dry. If you go through a blueberry, it'll still come out wet, so I'm just going to give you some tips about that in a minute. Okay, so I've got my 12 muffins ready to go in. Always when we bake, use the central shelf of your oven. That's the recommendation for baking, so just go with that, central shelf of your oven. I don't like waste, so let me just get the last bits of that out. I'm just going to pop them in. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Going straight in the oven, middle shelf. Okay, I'll put it on for 15, but like I say, they may need 18, even 20 minutes, depending on your oven. Right, let me show you the ones I made earlier for you. I gave the option of chocolate, so I did the chocolate ones this morning. They look great. They smell great. Let me just break one open. What I decided to do with these is I experimented on behalf of you guys because I thought, gosh, I can't get this grapeseed freely. I actually made these with standard olive oil just to see how they worked, and they've worked brilliantly. So if any of you just have olive oil in there, you don't want to go back out to the supermarket today, they're great. I also used frozen raspberries rather than frozen blueberries. So I don't know if you can see, let me get really close in there, and let's do the muffin break test. As you can see, they break really easy. They're super squashy and squishy, just as a muffin should be. And they're chocolate. So just a quick recap. All your dry ingredients go in together, super easy. Use your sieve on the scales, don't use millions of bowls. All your wet ingredients, get them together, combine them quickly and easily. Tip in your dry ingredients, couple of folding overs to keep all the air in. Add in your nuts, your frozen fruit or your fruit at the end, bob it straight into your baking sheets, straight in the oven, 375 for 15 to 18 minutes. And what do you get? Your muffins. We're done. That's it. There's nothing else I can add other than I want to see photographs of when your muffins are ready. What I'll do, because these muffins are not going to be out for another 15, 16 minutes, I will post them on Running Bear, and I'll post them on my site, Justine O'Donnell _ so that you can all see how mine have worked out. I'd love to see how yours worked out. If you've got other recipe options on this, so other fruits and vegetables that you use, please let me know. I love adding to my ingredients list. I love trying other people's recipes. I've loved doing these bake-offs with you in the lockdown. I'm hoping to come back and do some more with you. I know I'm doing a recipe for the Running Bear Christmas newsletter, and I'm going to give some winter tips of how to improve your nutrition over winter runs. But if you'd like to see me again, then please let me know. Look forward to seeing all your feedback on this. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you really soon. Thank you, guys.